Give a little bit more context for people who probably wondered why it got to the point that it did. I don't believe they heard, but when he had first came, right, we had started and he said, "You're lucky I'm not behind the desk because I would violate you."
What's up, everybody? This is the world famous Ed Lover, and you are watching Forgotten Kings TV. That's right, Forgotten Kings TV. Come on, son.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the MREC and Rip Show. Rack, what's good?
Rip, salute. I'm good. How you?
I'm good, King. Talk to me, man. You got the streets on fire right now, man. We gotta jump straight into this topic involving the AB stat Camron controversy. Of course, as we all know, Terrence Crawford, you know, he won his fight against Canelo.
Yes, sir.
You were there, you know what I mean? Getting exclusive footage. You know, you want to tell the people how that went?
Yes. Let me give you a quick backstory. So myself, Blue Blood Sports TV, Flat. We can go Steven Jackson, Devin Haney, multiple public figures was at the Fountain Blue. Now it's this bar, the circular bar at the Fountain Blue. Now, to reach it, you got to go up the steps. So we was by the steps. So AB had to go through us to get towards the circular bar. So we saw AB in this drunken state, and we automatically was like, damn, why does AB, you know, why is AB in this state? Why is his people that's around him, because it was a female and it was another dude that was kind of like walking them around the casino. So we was like, that's crazy that AB's like that. Somebody could just take advantage of him and exploit him, you know? And Blue said something to AB Peoples and they pretty much kept it pushing. You know, Blue was like, yo, you know, take him back to the room. And the rest is history, so to speak. And next thing the next thing we know, that's when Cam podcast came out. So that was like on a Friday, the day before the Crawford versus Canelo fight.
Okay.
And Cam, I believe, dropped his podcast on a Monday. And yeah.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Okay. Well, you know, of course, people, you know, they express how they felt about Camron and I guess what Camron explained was a edit, should have been an edit, but he was caught basically, you know, talking about AB after paying him, right? Adrien Broner, for the people that, you know, may not know. But, you know, he felt like, I guess AB was pressing Stat on a disrespectful level. You know what I mean? Stat being the host of It Is What It Is. Of course, you know, like I said, now, of course, earlier, Stat, she said some things that, you know, was happening behind the scenes off camera. But before we get into it, like I said, you know, yourself, Blue, y'all pretty much seen AB, you know, before the world actually seen him on the Cam interview. So
correct. I'm gonna say this real quick, not to cut your wisdom.
Okay.
Now, salute to the homie Sin, salute to the homie PT. They let me know, Rack, you know, we wouldn't do AB like that. AB's family, and we know you family, so that's why they was like, you know, they wanted to have an understanding that, yo, Rack, you know how we give it up, you know what I'm saying? So they told me directly, and then Sin called the show to express that Cam and them, because they all was involved, and PT actually did some commendable because AB was in a real bad position. Let's just say that. I don't want to put the business out there, but you can kind of put one and one together to understand. Like AB was literally in a bad space, couldn't do for himself, not just holding himself up, but also holding himself down as a man. You know what I mean? Without going into all the details. So they let it be known that they wasn't exploiting AB. So I just want to put that out there. That's directly from two people that's on that Is What It Is podcast, and that's actually family to me, Sen and PT. So we can go into the clip.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because it's starting to, I guess Cam and him, by clearing the whole situation up, doing the best that he could by making a video on Instagram. I guess he thought people would just, look at that for what it was. But nah, you and Blue, having seen it, being there, seeing the state, he wasn't the only one, clearly. But
everybody.
It's just unfortunate that, homie, for whatever reason, is in this situation. Again, however people perceived it, like I said, I don't look at the situation as you or Blue being wrong for expressing how you feel, because in the end, we got to protect each other.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And image and brand is all we got.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Once your credibility is ruined, it's hard to, get that back. But let's get into this clip, man. Let me, hold on, give me 1 second.
Who that's just now in this live and they might not have heard the Blue Blood assessment on the AB and Cam situation.
AB was in the telly. Yeah, he was drunk. But when we see AB, normally he's drinking. He goes on, and this ain't no secret, he goes on interviews and said he drinks. That's what he does. That's what he likes to do. All right. So let me, wait, before I get into that, if y'all think Cam is a piece of garbage for that, y'all really must think I'm a piece of garbage. Because when Zeke used to drink, and the way I used to talk to him about his drinking, y'all would really hate me. I'm telling you now. That's how niggas, that's how family talk to each other.
Okay.
If you ain't got a cousin where you can't say what you want to say, y'all need to get some checking up. Y'all need to reevaluate stuff that's going on with y'all family. Because if you can't sit down and talk to your uncle, everybody got a drunk uncle. I'm not calling AB an uncle or anything, or a drunk uncle, but you got family that you can say what you want to say. You don't have to hold nothing back. We got to get out of this sensitivity, man. The world is sensitive. Do you know people getting their programs cut and getting fired because either they laugh or they say the F word or the FA, et cetera, word, like, we can't say nothing. So when is the time that we can't? I saw something the other day. They said Bernie Mac would be canceled right now if he was alive. You understand what I'm saying? Well, why we can't say what we want to say no more? Why everybody getting so uptight and personal?
It's a sensitive world, my
especially if people know each other. You understand what I'm saying? Especially if people know each other. That's why when I called you, Rick, I said, Rick, if you don't get off that sensitive ish, my guy,
hold on. That with me. I ain't never been sensitive. Don't do that.
No, he talking. No. I'm gonna tell the people you're lying because I didn't come in hot. You got hot.
What?
You got hot.
Oh, this nigga. Hold on.
You got hot.
Now
don't say the N word because you under monetization, right? You just told me not to say it.
Look. Don't say it. Now my brother out here making up stories. So look, we're gonna do this in person, y'all. And y'all gonna read the energy, who was hot and who wasn't hot, okay? Because now he's selling it a whole different way. He's selling a whole different movie. You know what I mean? He came with a whole new script. I wasn't I didn't know about this script. You know what I'm saying? I ain't signed up for this script he came in with, you know what I mean? Dress it properly, right? Because there's people that's just now.
All right, King. You there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Before we get back into this, man.
What part you slapping?
Background music. Yo, why you put the background music?
I forgot about the music too. I thought it was fitting. Right?
I mean, it kind of was, but at the same time, it was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was fitting. I mean, in terms of what I do on TikTok and IG, it kind of gives the content, more validity. You know what I mean? Because when you want people to pay attention, music does that. So I felt like that music right there definitely will have people tuned in. But let me know what else you want to know. Where you want to go with this, King? Talk to me, because
Nah, like I said, it felt like, motherfucker was playing a violin in the background while homie was talking. That's why I was laughing like wreck funny for this. But
that
like
wasn't
I said,
intentional, but I can see why you saying what you say. You know what I mean?
right. I just think this whole situation, it's not that hard, man. Like I said, it reminds me of the Lamar Odom interview on Drink Champs, right? And knowing this man's history, knowing what he had to overcome, you know what I'm saying, fighting for his life. It's like, why put a person in a situation where they could risk it all again?
Correct.
You know what I mean? And even if it's not by your doing, the moment you enter the threshold and you say something out of pocket, and I already know that, hold up. He not right. Now is not the time to be like, yo, cut the camera on. It's showtime.
Correct.
Come on. You know what I mean? If you got love, you know what I'm saying? But then even if you don't know somebody, in that state of mind, it can be unpredictable. So why, take that risk? And when I think about it now, right, just earlier today, Stat, she finally broke her silence on this whole situation, adding, a new layer to this whole AB situation. Because again, I understand it from
the timing is impeccable. I will say that. Salute this Stat. Salute to it is what it is, because I think they kind of like, was done with it, but we know what's going on. Salute. You know what I mean?
Listen, let's hear this little clip from the You're Welcome. What is this? You're Welcome Network. You know what I'm saying? I guess now.
That's Cam Network.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? But I'm seeing new faces, y'all. Matter of fact, shout out to Sin, right? He got a show.
Yeah. Right. Shouts to Sin. I think they got this show Alienated, if I'm not mistaken. Right. And he's on Talk with Fleet, and It Is What It Is. He got another show he mentioned. I just can't think of the name. But go follow Sin at Sin City 730, I believe, on IG. So y'all can do your own homework on that.
Right. Now let's get into what's that had to say in this clip.
Let's get it.
Making too many compliments towards you, and Cam had to step in and remove him from the show.
Because for people who don't know me, they probably didn't understand my reaction. I would think body language, okay, I'm at work, right? I have, my boss is here. That's still their man's, like that's their friend. All I know to do is just control the situation as best I can to keep the show flowing so we can get questions. You're here to be interviewed. You're not here to talk to me, right? The advances kept happening, and there was a lot of advances that happened off camera. One thing that a lot of people don't know, and this is not to like beat a dead horse, because I don't like continuously talking about situations that don't serve me, and I feel like that situation doesn't serve me, and I don't want that to be part of my story, but I will give a little bit more context for people who probably wondered why it got to the point that it did. I don't believe they heard, but when he had first came, right, we had started, and he said, "You're lucky I'm not behind the desk because I would violate you." That was the first thing that I heard, right? Camera rolls. I'm like, fuck. One thing I know as a woman in the sports field and a woman in the industry is like, unfortunately, guys make a lot of flirty comments or whatever, and I keep it pushing and then continue, and a lot of it doesn't get picked up on camera. This is real life. This is what happens. It's very different handling a situation when you're at work. And I didn't feel in danger, but it's like, okay, you continuously keep doing this. And I did give Cam a look, so he kind of knew when I felt uncomfy. And that's when he stepped in, which one, I really appreciate him for that. When you're in this type of role and you're around a whole bunch of men, a lot of people also don't know that I'm typically the only girl in the room, right? Production is all men. The guys sitting next to me are all men. The guests are usually men. Honestly, a lot of times, like, you got to be able to hang, right? There's never going to be a situation where I feel like I said, like, I cannot say nothing, but it's like, okay, boys are chatting, boys are talking. Like, there may be situations where you might find somebody attractive. That doesn't bother me if you find somebody attractive. It's just like, if somebody's repeatedly telling you to stop, I'm telling you, like, okay, like, chill out. Cam's telling you that my boyfriend, is back there, which that was not even a public thing. So that was a whole bunch of things going on.
And for the record, it's even, I'm very flattered and honored that you guys think it's me, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not Nick. Yeah, like, to clear that up too. Like, there are some things that, of course, I would like to keep private. So there's a lot of things that I still don't speak on. So in this situation, give y'all a little bit of context.
How did it feel?
King.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear what she said?
Yeah. I mean,
Whew.
which part?
The violate you.
Yes, I did. And she said it happened right before the camera started rolling, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me know if I'm bugging or not.
Yeah, that's how I heard it, King.
Okay. Well, I think the content speak for itself. Because, I mean, if we was to continue on, it'd be an ongoing topic. Listen, I told him like this. When it comes to this content space, and for somebody who's been in it almost 2 decades, I said respectfully, y'all can holler at me. And we can make sure y'all don't be in these situations. You know what I mean? So I definitely put the memo out there. Let's see if they take heed to it. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I mean, I think it's a valid point to be made. That's all. You know what I mean? I think people are valid in saying, listen, considering, this isn't who AB is when he's out here on one of the biggest nights, biggest weekends, you're right, for boxing. You really should be out here with your head on right. You know what I mean? Getting your money, right? Networking. But again, that's like I said.
No, you're right 100% because we've seen a lot of people in the comments saying, AB should take accountability because he's a grown man and things of that nature. And they right, and
that's true.
And yes, I do agree. But when somebody has a problem, he don't even understand what he doing. Like when somebody has a addiction, mentally they're not even there. And I don't think people understand that. And I'm not making no excuse, but if you've never been in that space before where the addiction has taken over your right state of mind, you can't really speak on the state that he's in. You feel me?
Right.
Until you've been there. Because he's like looking at AB in his eyes, he's not even there, King. I saw that firsthand. And that's spooky.
So when you hear words like exploit, can't be upset, and a person looking at him in that state knowing he shouldn't even be here in front of a camera right now.
Correct.
That's what
correct. That's just me because we saw him, and we was down there filming for the Let the Sparks Fly docu-series, and just I'm MREC TV, so it's always on deck. You know what I mean? Whether it's the black magic, the red, or just that good iPhone. You know what I'm saying? With the cinematic feature. So the fact that, you know, for me, my whole team knew already. Nah, we not filming AB. We trying to see if his peoples can get him right. So, you know, that's just my stance. And, you know, if you want more, tune in to MREC TV and tap into the Sin City full interview. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm gonna say this. I feel like with Treasure, she's definitely a respectable journalist. Like to me, she's there for the work. So I want to salute her. Very professional. You know, even though she's very young, she's like, I haven't even really seen her take days off like that. If she do, it's well deserving of it. She works hard. It's been probably like going on 3 years now, maybe, you know, maybe 2. I don't know. You know, time be flying.
Yeah, time is moving. Dang.
Yeah. So she's definitely, you know, somebody that deserves her spot. And she didn't do anything wrong in that situation. But I believe she was put in an awkward situation. I'm gonna just say that. And she handled it very well. You know? And Cam did what he's supposed to do as a man, protect our women just in general, but also protect his female co-host. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he definitely held it down on that part. And I'm gonna land my plane.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, considering how Cam and Mase, right, and what they've created with the platform along with Stat, you know, they can get away with certain things other, you know, sports platforms can't do.
Correct.
In fact, they actually got everyone loosening up now, right? When it comes to sports podcasts, right? You even hear Stephen A. He cursing now, so you see the landscape changing. But even still, in those moments, when you see something like that, you got to call an audible.
MREC TV.
We mentioned Vlad TV.
Right.
Now, put me on. What's going on? Why he put your name in a bad light? Like, what's going on?
He was a part of that whole Kading, Reggie Wright, now Whack 100. He was a part of that whole team out there in Cali that was spreading false information by the death of Biggie Smalls.
So they get the nigga and shit, so man, they put him on a car on the ground and shit, they rob him and shit. Like, the feel me, the shotty, I sawed it off myself, so I know that shit do real damage. TM had that shit to the nigga head, and I'm thinking to myself, it ain't even over no real money. I'm already about to go to jail. And I said, nah. And the nigga eased up off him. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was kind of terrified because I ain't even want to see that. Like, I one of them niggas like, I'll pat at you, but I ain't running up on you and shooting you in the face and then standing over you, hitting you 12 times. I'm not psychotic like that. Like, you feel me? If I did it, it was over some money or over some disrespect. So I was out to prove a point, not to, you know, maim or disfigure nobody. Like, I'm not a psycho type shit. Like, you feel me? Like, so, you know what I'm saying? That was a terrifying moment for me because I ain't want to see that, and I'm about to get sentenced, you feel me?
Have you lived the life the streets tried to write for you, but ultimately found your own ending? Do you have a story of survival, betrayal, or redemption? We're looking for real people with real experiences to share their truth. If the streets tried to break you, but you made it out, we want to hear from you. Hit us up now to be a part of The Streets Is a Myth.
I don't be wanting no distractions when I'm starting my day. I'm facing 20 years in jail. I don't got no time to...
Thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, hit that notification bell to get the latest on hip-hop, sports, comedy, whatever. All right, we got you covered over here at Forgotten Kings TV. And also, click on one of these videos, okay? All right, y'all.